before we get into anything, we have to talk about this Sydney Sweeney
Oh my
good
God.
genes controversy. So, for anybody who hasn't seen, let's play the clip really quick. Number one. So, Sydney Sweeney was in a American Eagle jeans commercial that's creating a lot of attention online.
Genes are passed down from parents to offspring, often determining traits like hair color, personality, and even eye color. My genes are blue.
Sydney Sweeney has her genes.
Okay, so people are really freaking out online because they're saying this is like Nazi propaganda, talking about genetics, talking about your genes. Like it's obviously a double entendre on the denim jeans and then genetic genes. It reminded me of the Brooke Shields ad when
Yeah,
she
it's
had the like,
clearly an homage to that. Yeah.
yeah, which was also incredibly controversial when she was younger, and she did it when she was like 16. And in it, she said, "Nothing gets between me and my Calvins, nothing," implying that she didn't have underwear on, which was controversial because she was like underage at the time. And, the 80s were a totally different time. Just a reminder, Sydney Sweeney has a lot of brand deals other than American Eagle, excuse me. She has Dr. Squatch, Armani Beauty, Laneige. Hope I'm saying that. Laneige, sorry.
Laneige. It's like lip
So sorry.
masks. I use their products. I love
Laneige,
them.
Ashley's correcting.
Yeah.
Carastace, sorry. Hey Dude, Buy Beverages, Guess Jeans, Baskin Robbins, Samsung phones, Miu Miu, Ford, and there's a rumored lingerie deal with Jeff Bezos and Amazon. So I want to get your take, Miranda, and then I'll tell you my reaction to this.
Okay, so first of all, I did not. Okay, maybe I'm naive and stupid because the best pair of jeans that I have ever owned in my entire life was when I was like 19 and were from American Eagle. So I'm
Okay.
like, I kind of ride for American Eagle, and I didn't even know they were still in business. So for this, I was like, oh damn, should I go try them out again? I did not pick up on the subtext because I take things for face value sometimes, and I just was like, I like Sydney Sweeney. So everyone feel free to just come at me and call me an enabler. But when I first watched the video, I was laughing because she reminded me of that interview from a few years ago with Julia Fox when she was like uncut gems, and it's like
Yes.
the way she's talking, just like her diction is so funny that it's like gems are passed on from parents to offspring,
I
and
know.
it's just like it's like okay, like everyone needs to calm down. Sydney Sweeney
Well,
is an
that was
actress. Like,
my first reaction with the voice thing. That was my first reaction too, as someone who has been to extensive
mhm.
voice training
Oh, I
myself, as
remember.
you well remember. Every job
Yeah.
that I had until I was about 30, I got sent to voice training because I am from Phoenix, and Phoenix is very close to California. And I used to have a vocal fry that has literally been beaten out of me. It does not exist anymore. Now I sound very erudite, like I'm from the East Coast when I speak
Do
now.
you?
But I literally, when I hear old interviews of myself from much earlier on in my career when I'm in my 20s, I sound much more like I'm from, I was hanging out the Scottsdale Mall, and now I think I sound the way
Okay.
everyone designed me to sound. But I don't have a problem with either. I think it's fine for you to have vocal fry. That's how
I'm a
some women and
literal
people
valley
sound.
girl. I'm from the San Fernando
You don't have a
Valley.
vocal fry though.
No, because I work very hard to not have one. But it's like
Brandon, I
if
know you.
anyone's allowed to have one, it's me because it's I was born with it. I'm the one who's allowed to have it. But yeah, it's
And for
the
people
Sydney
that don't know what a
Sweeney.
vocal fry is, it's that the Sydney Sweeney is doing it here. It's like it's like when you do this like thing with your throat. Yeah.
If you really want me to get into it, I can actually like totally get into it because it's my natural state of speaking. But I don't talk like this
It's
because
that.
it's super annoying.
It's that. Yes.
There it is.
So
Yeah.
I agree with you that my first reaction was the voice, that it's just like for me again, because I literally think it's probably like hundreds of hours of voice
Oh
training.
yeah, I remember the
Um,
voice lesson days. Those
oh
were the
God, I
best.
used to have to do it like 3 times. This is back when I
And
first started
the
radio.
singing part of it.
Yes. Yes, it's horrible. I will say though, my vocal coach, I really admire and am grateful to him because legitimately it did help my career to sound more like when you're talking about things like war and famine, like it's better to sound the way I sound right now than the way I used to sound. So I'm actually very grateful. But I agree with you that it was the voice that caught me at first. So what do you make of people saying that, this is Nazi propaganda? Because she's talking about her genetics with her hair, and she is blonde, blue eyed, like, the Western Aryan ideal of beauty. When I first heard it, this may surprise you, I actually didn't like the language of the ad. I thought that if I were in charge of making this ad, I would have worded it differently. And I also maybe would have chosen some other beautiful women that are not blonde and blue-eyed to be in the ad with him. And for the
Sure.
record, like I'm an anti-woke activist. Like I'm like the least woke person on the planet, but I think people are making a mountain out of a molehill, and I think this is at the end of the day just a jeans ad. But I don't love the wording of it. I actually don't. I think anytime you're talking about genetics, you're entering into in this context, you're entering into a little bit of a weird zone.
I totally hear what you're saying, and I don't think that any of this was a accidental misstep by American Eagle. I think that this is
Yes.
all incredibly calculated. I think that they knew exactly what they were going to do or what kind of reaction that this was going to cause. Sydney Sweeney is the it girl. Okay, so
Mhm.
it's like, she's the girl of the year, whatever you want to call her. She's the one. So by casting her and having her say these things, I think they knew she was going to cause a stir. There's even a separate ad where it's like spray painted and it says Sydney Sweeney has good genes, the GENES with the genes, genetic
Mhm.
genes, and she spray paints it out, crosses it out, and writes genes J with the J. So they knew this was all very intentional. Anytime anybody wants to count her out as stupid, she kind of undercuts it and says, "No, I know exactly what I'm doing here." And American Eagle sales are up. They're not
Mhm.
going down.
Well,
People
controversy sells, yeah.
exactly. And sex sells, and this was a very sexy ad. So, uh, I don't love the language, but at the same time, I think that they were very, I don't want to say that they were smart because I think that they're too smart to play stupid. You can't play both. And so, I think that it worked, and everyone's talking about it, and everyone's curious about it. People are nonstop Googling these ads, trying to find them online. I had a hard time finding a clean cut of it because they removed it. So I
Yeah.
think ultimately the controversy worked, and a bunch of the other ads are still up featuring Sydney. So I don't think that this is going to go anywhere, like, or going to go away at least.
My last comment on this before we have a first time hand up question asker. I was going to say
Oh,
caller, but that we're not a Zoomer.
yeah.
The last thing I will say on this is that I also find it incendiary that so many people are throwing around the term Nazi and Nazism.
Yes.
And we're not throwing it around in the context of like, people targeting Jewish people and the violence, the huge rise of violence against Jewish people. And Ben, my husband, tweeted yesterday, whenever anyone throws around the word Nazi, I think of this. And it was a screenshot from Family Guy, where Stewie is in a Nazi uniform and he's wearing a McCain Palin sticker, like a thing. And I remember that episode happening and how hurtful and insane it was. But there was a period of time when my dad was the Nazi, the Nazi of the planet, like that he was. And by the way, like there's lots of things that can go back. There's Congressman Lewis, who is an icon in and of himself, and I'm not
Yeah.
desecrating him, but he said that my dad was no different than the head of the Ku Klux Klan. So like, this is why this language, we shouldn't throw it around the way we do with like jeans ads and presidential candidates that are now beloved on both sides, because we should use it when it's worth using, when it's actually a real thing to invoke Nazis and Nazi Germany. So that's my last thing. And also, Sydney Sweeney, we maybe could take a little bit of a pause on the endorsement deals. You got a lot of. I saw her
A lot going
Baskin
on,
Robbins
girly.
one. I was
Yeah.
like, what is happening?